Collective. Welcome, welcome. I'm Nikki, your local vegan tarotist. So when I was grabbing my reading tray, and I've got my sacks of other cards right there on the reading table, which I am rearranging to get stuff so that I can do all my readings in one spot and not be, moving it back and forth. But I digress. So I was looking at my reading tray and I was asking Spirit, okay, what's today's reading about? Who is it for? And all that I heard was keep it simple. And so I had my 7 chakra book, I had my Van Gogh deck, I had my Native American tarot deck, all on this tray. And I was like, just keep it simple. So I grabbed the original Rider-Waite tarot. I have the gold full Rider-Waite tarot. And then the Deviant Moon tarot for feminine. So those are my typical masculine and feminine decks. The gold foil and the Deviant Moon. And then I'm going to use the original Rider-Waite to bring it together. So I'll read for the masculine, I'll read for the feminine, and then I'll read for the truth about the connection, right? With every story, there are 3 sides, right? Sometimes there are more. So something about 3s, right? And could be about some sort of misunderstanding, and then there's like a central truth here. That's like, what is the movie I watched where? Life Itself. And he's describing their connection, Oscar Isaac, Pisces, with his Pisces girl, Olivia Wilde, Rio. What's in the middle? The white stuff. But what is that actually? I don't know what that little Oreo parody jingle or whatever is from, but it's from an actual song. So if you know, maybe that actual song has some sort of confirmation or meaning to you, or it just dates you, like I just dated myself. So, which is funny because I paused this movie at 38 minutes, 38, 37, and I'm 38. I just turned 38. Bull gang, any Tauruses out there? Anyone with strong Taurus placements? You or your person could have strong Taurus placements. So he's describing his side of things, and in his side of things, he's sort of pedestalizing it as this like perfect relationship, and he's telling his therapist, well, maybe that's not how she saw it. Maybe I was suffocating her. Maybe she's like, just tell me what happened, and he's flashing back. It starts with him talking to his therapist, and then he's flashing back to their connection. And he says, well, we got up. We talked about Bob Dylan. Maybe you like Bob Dylan. No, maybe you do. Didn't Timothy Chalamet play him? I think he's a Capricorn. I don't know Bob Dylan's sign. But he says, we talked about Bob Dylan. We went to breakfast or lunch or whatever at my parents'. And he just states the facts. So I feel like there's something about this where there's 2 sides to every story when you're talking about the 3D connection. And then there's the 5D connection, which is the truth about this connection. All right, so, let's see. And I was getting, because it is pretty dark in here and it's pretty early, and I'm sensitive to light. Maybe your favorite season is spring. Comment below what your favorite season is. It's either spring or hurricane season for me. Because hurricane season comes between the seasons. And so you get that switch when something about daylight savings time, springing forward or falling back. Maybe that is also something about your individual natures. One of you is always springing forward and one of you always seems to be falling back, which is very much like fire energy and then like water energy. or mutable energy and cardinal energy. So you could have those placements. But I was getting, can everyone hear me? Can everyone see me? Which is, I don't know his name, but the professor in this, not the sorcerer. Yeah, no, not the Chamber of Secrets in Harry Potter, where he's like, yes, can everyone see me? Can everyone hear me? Also, Anchorman, Pisces, Will Ferrell. Hey everyone, come see how good I look. Hey! Everyone could see how good I look. There could be some sort of like arrogance here. But like one of my favorites, Pride and Prejudice, she's like, I was so wrong about him. So maybe the feminine's seeing this masculine as being this like arrogant, self-centered, needs all the attention. And maybe that's not who they are at all. Because he's incredibly shy. He just comes off like a prick because of the way that he speaks and because he doesn't really know how to communicate very well. He finds it hard to converse with people he doesn't know. Maybe you should take your aunt's advice and practice. The Hierophant. So we do have Taurus energy here. We have a lot of Pentacle energy, a lot of Earth energy, because we have Judgment, which can be Libra. I also get Virgo, so somebody could be like a Libra Virgo cusper. I get Virgo because Virgos they use quite a bit of judgment, and they typically judge themselves hellaciously. I don't know his sign, but Chris Christopherson in A Star Is Born with Barbra Streisand, who is an April Taurus. Drip, drip, drop, little April shower. Something about the month of April. April showers. Spring is very important here. So maybe somebody's birthday is in the spring season, or the spring season could be very significant to this connection. But he sings the song Hellacious Acres. So if you have not heard that song, it's really cool. And it's kind of, I feel like it's not at all in the style of Tim Burton, but maybe somebody likes Tim Burton here because it's kind of like Jack Skellington would be singing it, because it's like, I'm getting like somebody is into like theatrical perform, and someone could be like an actor or very theatrical, like and very performative, but I feel like and they come off maybe arrogant because of that or narcissistic because of that, but it's like, it's a mask that they're wearing. They're putting it on as a performance to avoid or protect themselves. They could be an avoidant. Excuse me. It sounds so gross. Again, Judgment. Somebody could be very judgmental of themselves or have like Virgo, Libra placements where they're just like, they're very hard on themselves. And for this, like they need to be rescued. They need to be rescued from themselves. Virgo and Scorpio energy, Pretty Woman. Because this is in the masculine side. What happens when the prince saves the princess from the tower? The tower, scorpionic energy again. She rescues him right back. So there could be like a Six of Swords energy, which is also Richard Gere. I always get Richard Gere in First Knight. The First Knight would be the Knight of Wands, right? Because cardinal energy is the fastest moving energy, or fire energy. The Eight of Pentacles. Somebody is like waiting for their eggs to hatch, so to speak, right? Maybe somebody like takes care of reptiles or birds or some sort of platypuses. Platypi. What's the plural to platypuses? Platypus also gives me scorpionic energy because Scorpios were a large underwater crustacean before they devolved to become these small land creatures, which is interesting because they are a fixed water sign. So they are earth and water, and a lot of people mistake them for being fiery, for being the fieriest of the water signs. have you ever interacted with a Scorpio? Like, come on. Have you ever interacted with a Cancer? Because they're cardinal water and they are fiery, sassy mofos. So something about like claws, pincers, also from Harry Potter. We're talking about the spiders. Something about spiders could be significant. The High Priestess, Pisces energy, the number 8. Also Leo energy. Or late month Virgo, right? Late August Virgo. But where Harry Potter goes, also the pincers. And he's not on the liquid luck, is he? Maybe he's on the liquid luck. Because I know he gave it to Ron, but then he's on some sort of, under some sort of spell, or he's taken something that makes him like, almost sort of like he's had a couple of sips of wine or something, you know? Maybe somebody's drinking a little bit of liquid courage. Leo, someone could have Leo and water placements in their chart, right? Liquid courage. I'm getting a lot about this person's chart, which I was laughing about that to myself, as I often do, is that like when we're dating, we should just exchange charts. Like, let me see that chart. I don't want to know about your dating history. Just let me read your chart. So somebody could be like just discovering their chart, or somebody could be an astrologer out here, in here. 9 of Pentacles. This is someone, this feminine is coming up as very independent, work focused, stability focused. INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means? She got her own house. She got her own car. Who sings that? Is that Chingy? I also get Aries energy. My friend and I, we used to do the grinding. Do you remember that grinding song? I think it was by Chingy, maybe, but it has that grinding, and that's all I remember. Grinding. So someone could be like, I'm seeing someone with like a tape, not a table saw, not maybe a palm sander, but what's that called? It's a grinder. Maybe someone's on Grinder. Hey, do your thing. Maybe somebody's on like or has done a lot of why am I getting talk shows? Again, someone may have had like, someone's like, it's like the interview process. Someone is not good at answering questions. And then maybe one of you really likes to ask a lot of questions. Guilty. Maybe somebody is like, with judgment here, maybe something about the court of law. But this is a very intuitive feminine here. They're showing up with the 9 of Pentacles, independent energy, and 1333 on the clock there. And this purple dress with the moons, the skull here. So there's like this water energy, very, very feminine, very stable. Grinder. Yeah, like someone could be on dating sites. That's what I was looking for. And maybe they've given that up because they're just like, I don't want to see your bio. I want to see your chart. Like someone really wants to know who you are, what you're made of. The masculine's very solid. They have a solid offer. They've worked in isolation with the 7 of Pentacles. I kept seeing the 8 of Pentacles. So they have been working through the night. I get someone like day and night, Kid Cudi. I keep stressing my mind. Anyway, and something about stress in their mind. But they have they've crafted something it's like they want to approach this feminine in this 9 of Pentacles energy. So it's like they've gone through Gunther, Friends. He's obsessed with Rachel. and he's the bartender. So someone could be like in the service industry, and that could be how you meet this person. They may see you every day at like your local coffee shop or somewhere that you frequent, but it's like someone has their eye on you, and so they've made some sort of assumption about you. They could have put you up on this pedestal as this perfect person, and then I'm getting Not Stranger Than Fiction, although I love that movie, and that does have Will Ferrell in it as well. So Will Ferrell could be a significance here. Excuse me. And then Capricorn, and I believe Kate Winslet, Kate Blanchett, Kate Winslet, Jack Black could be important here. If you know, you know. Why am I blanking on this? I'm kidding, like all of the things that it's not. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Holy crap, that was hard. That was hard. And maybe there's something about birthday twins, because like, I don't know, I have birthday twins all around me, not just mine. I only recently, this past year, last year, met 3 birthday twins in one place. But before that, I had only briefly met one, and then there was like a, not secondary family member, not even like distant family member, but like in-law, who was my birthday twin. But I have had, like, my neighbors were at my house were birthday twins to very important, both of them very important Pisces. So there's something about Pisces that's important here that keeps coming up. I've had several people that are Pisces birthday twins. They have been major components in my life, so you may hear me talk about them quite a bit because they've been in my life. Somebody could be like a godfather here, the godfather, or godmother. And that could be unofficial too, because my godparents were not official godparents, and I have been the earth mother to a Pisces friend's child. So there's something about like someone being like, maybe like related but not related, but like an important factor, maybe in your raising, or maybe you are like some sort of, you could be like an adoptive parent. Like there could be something about you're not this person's, or maybe there's a child involved here. I know something just flipped. Well, if it's meant to come out, it'll come out. Maybe it flipped and then flipped back. This is a secretive feminine. Okay, I'm getting the High Priestess here with this imagery. I feel like you are a mystery to this masculine feminines. They see you as very balanced. They're putting you on this pedestal. They're thinking like you're just amazing. They're watching you up on stage. Maybe you are a performer of some sort, or they like are watching you in a way where you can't really see them, but they see you. Because this gives me Esmeralda. Excuse me. I need to do my sinus rinse and take my nettle. Maybe you have allergies. Maybe that's something about spring is my favorite season, but it's also like I have horrible seasonal allergies, and they've been especially fun this year. Okay, so we have, there could be a divorce here because we have the Hierophant, which is about marriage. We have the Three of Swords, and then we have the Four of Wands, the 1111, the Union in reverse, and the Empress. This could also be a feminine who, like, they come off as being hyper independent and having it all together because, and they are in this High Priestess, the Empress, Libra, Taurus, and Pisces energy. Extra Taurus confirmation with the masculine side, with the Hierophant. But also Capricorn, Aries, and Capricorn and Aries on the masculine side here. But I think that they're coming off this way because, I mean, here they are literally wearing a mask. Here they're wearing a costume. So they are guarded because maybe they went through a divorce, maybe they went through some sort of separation. With the Four of Wands in reverse, it's like they thought that they were, like, their intuition, they question their own intuition. This feminine does, and I feel like I'm talking to the masculine right now, because masculines, I think maybe you need to ease up on your perspective on this feminine, because it's a lot of pressure when you put someone on a pedestal. I mean, yes, we all want to be the star in someone else's show. We want to be admired, adored, loved, all of those things. Supported. You know, you want your partner to be your biggest fan, all of that in whatever you do. But this feels like, and that's where I was getting the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, where she says, I'm just a fucked up girl with my own problems. Like, so masculines, but the irony here is that this masculine, even though I feel like they feel like this feminine will heal them, because we've got this Nine of Pentacles, High Priestess, Earth energy, this very feminine, nurturing energy here, with this kind of like, it's going to be vegan leather, this leather here, I'm getting a little bit like this feminine is coming off very dominant, but I feel like they're actually quite, and the masculine with Judgment, and this red cross, it's like they see this feminine as being, maybe someone's in the medical field. But why do we go into the medical field? Because we're a healer. The healer needs a protector. The healer needs also, we're put here. Our divine path and purpose is it's directly correlated to our shadows, and our shadows develop in the 3D because of experiences in our childhood, because of experiences in this life, relationships that come in, zodiac signs that come in, energetic frequencies that come in to challenge and bring up and rustle up these shadows, because these are karmic shadows that are inhibiting or delaying our own internal ascension, which is a process of descension. That's that Virgo energy of going within, doing the self-inventory, and really preparing for some serious shadow work, right? Because only through shadow work are we able to self-realize, actualize, and align. And it's like those of us who are not loved, and with that whole like sub-guardian thing I'm getting, there's some sort of like subterranean, something about subterranean. But there's like this, or submarine, big yellow submarine, the Beatles, right? Yeah, beetles. Maybe somebody's like, this is very specific, but somebody could like breed insects, or like maybe you're the type of person that other creatures, like maybe you just have a yard where you keep a lot of plants, or like pollinators or whatever. You could like raise butterflies or moths, Buffalo Bill, right? You could like, but it's like I feel like it's a rehab, or like what's that called? Reserve conservation, like it's something like that, because it's a vegan space, right? You don't have to be vegan, but that's what I talk about, all right? Because that is part of my belief system. It's a major core factor as a ahimsa, as a yogic practice. So maybe somebody is getting into yoga or practices yoga. It's like, it's all about non-harming, reducing harm. overall. Humans, non-human animals, the planet, all right, and insects are animals. I don't know why people don't get that. They are part of the animal kingdom. Now, anyway, that was my own little tangent. Maybe somebody relates to that or whatever, but yeah, maybe somebody's like, you're weird. You are so weird. Like, why are you like, why do you care about bugs? They're just bugs. But it's like someone's like, has an ant farm or something where it's like they're not breeding or farming for like their own pleasure or to exploit animals. It's like they're trying to, what's that called? Reintegrate or repopulate some sort of species, maybe. That's very specific. But if anybody's out there doing that, yes, cool, more power to you. Please confirm that below. Or maybe that's something you've always wanted to do. You've always been fascinated with. Because I am getting like, with the eggs hatching, there's something about eggs, something is ready to hatch. But it's like you are both individuals who have like put all of your eggs in one basket, so to speak, in the past, and that has caused heartache around the idea of union and marriage, whatever marriage looks like to you in the 3D, whether you go to a courthouse, whether you go to a church, whether you go into the woods and you just say some vows. Oh, this is weird. I was like, oh, I picked this deck up in reverse. And some of it is in reverse. It's a hot mess. Anyway. But then at the top of the deck is the Lovers and the Empress in the upright. So we're going to pull that out. Yeah, I feel like you're both going to do something with nature where it's like, oh, I got to cover them up because, oh my gosh. That's probably going to be the picture I do. The Lovers. Because this is just it's not just love for each other. Yeah, it's Six of Pentacles. It's with the community. It's with those around you. You just, like, I want to say ooze, the Tower, which is kind of a gross word. Exude, exhume. If anyone out there is a paleontologist, let me know. You might be my dream guy. Because I love that. But somebody could like exhume or dig up, unearth, because I'm getting that subterranean, like someone's a digger. And I don't know what his zodiac sign is, but I feel like Capricorn. The work you do is intertwined. So you meet through work. Judgment. It could be something in the law, in law. In-law? Again, maybe something about in-laws. But the Judgment here, something about the judicial system, perhaps. It's not justice, right? XX. That band could be important. Something about your ex could be important. XX. I'm kidding. Funnyjunk.com. 55. Maybe somebody is 55, but shviggity shvut, 55. The Tower. King of Wands. Okay, this King of Wands, someone with strong fire. That could be fire, passion, fire placements, cardinal placements, right? Which, you know, Capricorn, Aries, Cancer, and Libra could have those strong placements in the masculine side. They're coming toward this feminine. The feminine does not see it. The feminine is focused elsewhere. But we have this King of Wands looking at this feminine here. Like, and their fist is kind of balled up. There is a determination and a fierceness to this masculine. And you might look at them and this could be like your ex, right? Maybe you dealt with a fire sign in the past and they're mad about you moving on or feminines getting into this Empress energy, but we don't care about them. Confirmation. We don't care about them. That's their problem. Okay. This I get, like, there's somebody with their fist balled up. This masculine feels like they could be mad at your ex. Maybe they know your ex, but it's like they are, and there's a lizard here. Lizards are very important. I keep getting like lizards, reptiles, insects, like little, this is a masculine who protects and nurtures, even with this fiery energy. Like, this is someone who's very patient in this fiery energy. So they have a lot of, but with this earth as supplemental energy here, like they're approaching this feminine. There's a lot of Taurus energy because we have the Hierophant and the Empress. And then the 9 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. 6 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. There's a lot of like patience here. Patience, Yagu. Patience! Azim was obviously less than worthy. So this is like the Cave of Wonders, more Leo energy because the cave, it's a tiger, not a lion. But could be Leo energy, large cats. Something about big cats. Big cat rescue. I don't know. Somebody could be doing conservation with them or just like them. Like they could have, I mean, most Leos I know have like a Leo something. Some sort of like lion iconography around them. Iconography is a strange word to use in there, and we do have the lions, you know, behind them, the crest here. Someone's family crest could be important. But this masculine is like, they see this feminine as like this, even though she's in this big Empress energy, like the way that she's sitting here. Also, I think she's a Scorpio, but I can't remember. Christina Ricci, that could be somebody's name. Christina Ricci. She does this thing, and it's like I could fit in that. Where, I mean, she's a petite person. Maybe she's a Virgo. I think she's a Virgo. Yep. Anyway, she could be any of those. Maybe she's a cusper of some sort. Or has like Scorpio placements or something. Anyway. Because like she's sitting on this little stool, and even though she's like this giant Empress queen, very powerful, maybe this is like a taller or larger stature feminine, but that's just the energy that they hold. But they're like almost making themselves small. And I also see that this masculine views this feminine as being like tiny, teeny tiny. They just want to put them in their pocket. They just think they're the cutest little thing, even though it's like they're also putting them on this pedestal. But that's also like Thumbelina, like they want to like pick her up and put her on the dresser, you know. So this could be a very petite feminine as well, right? So it's the energy here with the 3. They just see them as being completely holy, like and not just holy as in divine, but like they are everything that they could want in a feminine. I mean, they're the Empress. Who doesn't want the Empress, right? This King of Wands does, but their fist being balled up just tells me that they're like mad that it's taken them so long with the Pentacle energy. They're finally gearing up and going after what they want, admitting what they want. Maybe they didn't admit it because, yeah, in Pride and Prejudice, he's almost like mad at her because he loves her so much. So there's like a rejection here or an avoidance here because they want them so much that they don't even want to admit it to themselves or to anyone around them. But it's very obvious. Just like the friend, Charlotte. Charlie could be important. Just when I was saying teeny tiny, that's also what I call my Leo. The mother of my Gemini puppies. they're not puppies, they're 9 years old, but they're always going to be puppies to me. She's my teeny tiniest. And she was just belly dragging out here. She like goes around on the carpet with her belly. The Fool and the Knight of Cups. Somebody feels like a fool, but they're ready to be the fool in love. And that is what, I think that's what Charlotte says in Pride and Prejudice. We are all fools in love. Is that her who says that? Is that even the movie that says that? Anyway, I'm just going to say that that's what Charlotte says, because she's also the peripheral character that sees. She always witnesses these interactions between Elizabeth and Darcy, Mr. Darcy. I think his name is like Fitzsimmons or Fitzgerald. His name is, you would think it's like Mark Darcy, because that's also, he plays Darcy twice. He plays Mr. Darcy in one of the earlier Pride and Prejudice, and then he plays Mark Darcy in Bridget Jones' Diary. And I believe he's a Virgo. So there is like this there's a lot of Virgo energy around here. Which is like, regardless of your past, you both kind of view each other as being very pure. But if shadows are in the way, pride is in the way, right? Something about the deadly sins, pride is in the way. So something about the 7 deadly sins. If any of those are in the way, you will put your person at a higher status than you. You will say that they are perfect. You will say that they are beautiful, which means any one of those blockages, 7 deadly sins, correlate to the 7 chakras. If you have any blockages there, then you're going to view them as being, you're going to view yourself as being the opposite of whatever you view them as. If they're perfect, you are imperfect. If they're beautiful, you're hideous. And it's going to be in the extreme, right? Because that's what the devil does. That's what the 7 deadly sins do. They they lure us in. They trick us into, demonic entities all around will trick us into being. So on that note right there, because I just received a message, Libra energy, karma's on your side. If there's any sort of karmic interference, whether it's internal thought patterns, belief systems, false belief systems that you have inside, or actual people, like demonic entities and demonic forces and frequencies will, they cannot maintain a frequency. That's why they're like vampires. They have to pull from your frequency, right? So that's what they're going to do. They're going to try and trick you into a place where they can drain you. So any of those things, and I keep seeing, it's just the way the light is on the coffee maker, and I can see it. Something about coffee could be important. Coffee shop, coffee, maybe this is early in the morning when you hear from this person or see this person typically. Again, you can meet them at work or whatever. But the way the light is cast, I'm seeing Gemini. So I'm seeing the Gemini symbol, Gemini, lovers, 2 of Cups, right? 6, the number 6 is also agape love, and that is the 6 of Pentacles here. Let's pull one more for the masculine and feminine. Yes, the devil. I'm like, yes, the devil. And then there's a 7 of Pentacles. See, these are things that you are both trying, you're both in the same energy of, but see, like, this is someone tending to, maybe somebody like you both might like gardening or nature in such a way, because I just see you out in nature. Very free, very exposed. This is a burning bush on this masculine side, and it's a fruit tree on the feminine side. So there's something about, what is that, a fire bush? Maybe someone's a ginger. Stop it. I feel like the feminine is being a lot more attempted, and the masculine is activating into this archangel. They're coming in to defend and protect this feminine from these demonic influences, because demonic influences will, they will attack the feminine more than the masculine, because the feminine in this Empress energy is more connected with source, with that High Priestess energy, is more directly linked to source, into the emotional, the unseen, the 5D, right? They are the rulers of the 5D. So the more that they are in this Empress energy, the more tested they're going to be. Now, when an Emperor and an Empress come together, they're basically indestructible. Like, nothing's going to stop them. Through time and space, they will always come back together. And the opposite of the devil is the Lovers, right? Because they are exposed, they are nude here. I mean, I did have to cover them up, so they are literally covered in the devil, but they're chained to each other. There's a deceptive energy, and it's self-deceptive. It's not admitting what you want. It's not fully expressing or exposing yourself, because of these shadows, right? And those things will try to interfere so that you don't come into union. That's why you're the most tested the closer you get to union, because the devil is at work here. But at the center, we have judgment. All will be judged in the eyes of God, right? Whatever you call that. Karma, all right? Karma is not a biatch. Karma is fair. Karma is unbiased. Karma will right all things. All things will right themselves in the eyes of the universe. The universal law is balance. All right? In all things, balance. If you look at that medically, it's homeostasis. So if these attacks or attempted attacks are interfering with your physical health, that's coming to an end. That's coming to a balance. Your physical health is about to rebalance. You're about to feel a lot, because this masculine has activated into their fire energy. They have activated into their archangel. The angels are watching over you. And you're going to come together and you will be indestructible. Because you've done all this work. You've waited so long for your plants to grow. The fire bush, the burning bush. This masculine is getting some sort of download that confirms this is their feminine. And not just that this is their feminine, that their feminine is in trouble. Because an Empress by themselves is at the highest risk. Because again, when you're in the Empress energy, you call your masculine in, you call your Emperor in. And the Emperor does not move for anyone but their Empress. Someone could be moving here. Yeah, the feminine's been doing it themselves for a long time. 8 of Wands. We've got karma, the universe, right? Coming in with a message. Coming in with this letter of approval. Some sort of letter of approval could be important. Literal mail could be important here. Literal mail. Now that could be taken two ways, like mail, M-A-I-L, or M-A-L-E, right? Literal mail coming in. And then we have the Ace of Swords, which is the truth. The truth shall set you free. Liar, liar. Someone is lying on this connection or around these individuals, and like, you won't be shit. Yeah, 5 of Swords. Somebody is winning. Somebody is conquering this. There's a gladiator here. Somebody has a gladiator spirit. 10 of Wands, laying down the burdens. 10 of Swords. Ending. And there it is. I said this at the beginning. I'm going to end it there. 6 of Swords, the rescue. This masculine is coming through. Coming through. And they're putting down the burdens, thoughts, self-sabotage, self-belief, false belief systems. And then we'll do one more for this. Yeah, because you are the one that they waited for. Death, Six of Cups. Yeah, 666. 666 is, people think it's the devil's number. The devil does not own anything. The devil's merely renting. They're merely renting. Okay? And they're about to be evicted. I cast you back into the fire. And the King of Wands is coming in to do that, fighting fire with fire. This masculine has had enough of people mistreating their feminine, and they've just gotten a download that this is going on in their feminine side. Because this feminine is getting smaller and smaller. They're making themselves smaller and smaller. And this is because they're like a high risk. It's like endangered species. This feminine is like an endangered species, and this masculine is coming in to co-create, procreate, whatever your purpose is. It's going to be different for everybody. But with the sixes here, sixes also, it's agape love. It's reciprocated love. You get the Six of Cups, Six of Pentacles, Six of Swords. So the only thing missing here is the Six of Wands. And that comes right after this masculine lays down the burden and brings this masculine energy to an end of thoughts, words, and actions, of like inactions. Because see, these wands are not lit. So they're igniting. This masculine is igniting into their archangel. Somebody could have like the name Michael in their name, or one of the archangels' name. Or your birthday could be like an angel number. Again, all numbers are angel numbers. Because the devil does not own those. Like, at best, they could try to mock it. They can mock the Holy Trinity. They can mock the number 6. But you're saying agape love, 666. The Holy Trinity times 3, thrice, is important here. Which is the union. I mean, yes, 4 is the union, but when we're talking about divine, 4 is the union in the 3D, right? It's the elements. 4 of Wands, 1111. It is the opening and the bringing together of these two individuals in the 3D. In the 5D, it's the Holy Trinity, 3. The divine masculine, divine feminine, divine creation. Now, whatever you're co-creating or procreating, doesn't matter. Either way, it's co-creation. And the devil cannot create. That's what makes the devil so mad. They cannot. They're merely leasing. They're merely renting. All they can do is try to get others to do the work for them, like a parasite. They need a healthy host. But a healthy host also is the one that can smite that parasite. Right? So it's kind of like somebody's name here with all the Harry Potter references, Voldemort. It's like everyone's like, he who shall not be named. And then Harry Potter comes in and is like, I'll say his bitch ass name, Voldemort. You know, it's like calling out, and maybe that is something like you don't know who this person is. Feminines, you could feel the attack, but maybe you haven't like isolated it to the name of whatever the demon is, or you haven't isolated it to whatever the name of that parasite is. But once you do call them out, it sends a signal to your masculine, like a beacon. And it's like, get them. You know, it's like what's that movie where they put the laser? They put the little laser light on, and then the dog attacks or the creature attacks. I feel like that's from a movie. But that's the image that I'm getting, is somebody like, the feminine's like, oh, there they are. And the masculine's like, got them. And what that looks like is going to be, it's going to be different for each of you. But the masculine is going to come in the 3D and say, this is my feminine. Whether it's low vibrational masculines trying to come in and distract or deter or lure you back in, people from the past, exes, whatever. Those who are just not compatible with you, those who are not going where you're going because they can't go where you're going. This masculine is going to come in and say, get out of here. Go. I'm a roundhouse kick you in the face. So something about a roundhouse kick or a roadhouse. So Chuck Norris, Patrick Swayze, and then the new one is Jake Gyllenhaal. So Sagittarius, Leo, and I don't know what Chuck Norris's sign is. But this masculine is like, no, I'm protecting. This feminine is protected. So if this is people gossiping, people like trying to put this feminine's name down, this masculine is going to come in and say, hey, like it is their divine calling. And they're a little bit like frustrated with themselves that they didn't see it before, or that they didn't act before, or that, you know, they didn't understand the connection enough so that they could have stopped this before it got to this point. But it had to get to this point because with that Tower and Scorpionic energy, with the snake, that is a Native American zodiac for Scorpio, not to put shame on Scorpio, but Scorpio is all about death and rebirth. It's all about the cycles ending and the new one beginning, destruction and creation. It's that beautiful point. And that is the co-creation, because masculine energy and feminine energy, destruction, war, peace, destruction and creation. That is the divine masculine, divine feminine. And them coming together is where creation happens. It's like the Big Bang. It's, you know, it's like a tornado, right? Or a hurricane. It's like the cross winds. It's just where the hot meets the cold. And so there's something about that. So I'm gonna leave it there because this has gone long enough. It was gonna be a quick check-in. All of my readings started as a quick check-in. But in the grand scheme of time and all of that, you know, what's an hour, right? So I'm also not going to be probably reading too much for the next couple days. I've got a lot of things going on, and then, you know, Sunday, vocal fasting. So although I have contemplated doing a silent reading, I don't know how I would do that, but it's in my mind. So if you guys would be interested in that, let me know. Maybe something. So yes, thank you everybody. Those who have and those who will, like, share, comment, subscribe, donate. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy, your patience, your understanding. And just the collaborative, collective energy being here, because we are all doing this together. We are all going through this together. And that's powerful, right? It's powerful when a bunch of individuals come together. That's how any uprising throughout history has ever began. One, and then another, and then another, and another. So I digress, but thank you. Much gratitude. And I hope there was something in here for you. Until next time, I wish you well.